All right, next up, we're going to be talking about environment variables within Liferay DXP. So what are environment variables, right? These are just like any other variables within the programming world, right? We're able to have a variable that stores a value, and then we can change that value whenever we feel like it while referencing that specific variable. That variable can contain a lot of different information, and we can use different variables to pass that information, right? We have variables that represent usernames, passwords, as well as specific settings that we may want to set, such as that cron setting a while back. So each service within our DXP stack does have a set of environment variables that we can configure as well as add. So how do we use some of these environment variables, right? So we head over to the web console. This is one way we can do it. And within the web console, we can select a specific service. Once we've selected that service, right, we can then find that environment variable tab, select it, and take a look at the variables that are already there, configure those variables, or we can add some new ones. The key is the variable, and then the value is what's going to be stored within that variable, right? So very similar to what we do in the programming world already. So adding or editing variables in the web console is one way. Another way we can do this is through that main configuration JSON file. So within that JSON file, you can then find the environment variables. It's going to be under that env section. Once you're there, you can then do the same thing as you would within the web console. You can add variables, you can edit variables to your liking. If you're taking a look at the JSON file, right, you can follow your specific workflow, right, or source control that you would typically use in the GitHub world. So in my personal opinion, this is a little bit safer, but you have a couple of different options, just kind of depending on your situation. So web console or within this JSON file here. So quick knowledge check here. So as usual, if you want to fill these out, feel free to pause the video, but otherwise, let's go ahead and fill these parts here together. So environment variables are those dynamic placeholders that can affect the way a certain service will behave within an environment. Environment variables can be added and edited in the web console using the environment variables tab. You can also add variables as well as edit them within that specific JSON file under that env property section. Next up, we're going to take a look at how we can do all of this in practice. But until then, this wraps it up for this video, and I'll see you in the next video.